Hello everyone, Lady Shatana here again to talk to you about the Cavern style in Minecolonies, which is the greatest mod to ever hit Minecraft. Today I'm going to talk to you mostly about MegaHalls, decorations, and placing huts within my builds. So I'm going to show you something cool. I've shown you this before, but I love this. Seeing what a colony looks like when it's not inside a mountain. This always just makes me giggle a little bit to see how it all goes together. And I just wanted to show you guys. This is all MegaHalls in this particular one. And for this video, we are going into the colony using one of the gates, which is under the decorations area of the build tool, with the assumption that you're going to build the alternative mega hall, which we're going to go take a look at in a moment. So, moving in, we come into our first connector, and you can see this one isn't completely boring. It has a decoration on the side, and let's take a look at adding a decoration into the other side. So in the build tool, as I said, under decorations, there's going to be a whole section called connector deco, and there's a few different things in here. Some of them will have a decoration that only fills one side, and some of them, as an example, the corridor melons, which you saw in the last video, will fill up the entire connector. And so in this case, let's go ahead and add, I don't know, let's add swords, because swords are cool, and there's always room for more swords in a colony. So this particular one is filling up the one side, and as you can see, it doesn't quite look right yet. You're going to move it until you can actually see. There we go. So this one fills, not all of them do, but this one fills entirely from top to bottom, one side to the other. And when you can see all of your preview lines in that configuration, you know that you've got it in the right place. And all you have to do is then, in your case, you're going to have it built by your builder, but we're going to cheat a little bit and we're going to construct it right in there. So as you can see, with just that little bit of decoration, it makes your connectors a little bit more interesting. In the connectors as well, you can build some of the alternative huts, like the alternative guard huts, the delivery guys, the builder hut. You could build those things in these areas as well. So moving in a little bit, this is the alternative town hall that fits into the same space as a standard mega hall. Pretty happy with how this turned out. This would be something, say if you started building everything outside and decided to move into the mountain, and then decided that you wanted your town hall in here too. Because you've already got a gate or something moving into the colony, you can then go ahead and add this very fun town hall, which has all kinds of cool goodies. I'm not going to spoil everything for you. Moving into an intersection, because you've always got an intersection, a hall, an intersection, or an intersection, a connector, an intersection. Always have it in those configurations. There are a couple of things that we have that can go into intersections as well. So same thing, going into your build tool, into decorations, and in this case we're going to go into the intersection deco. So a couple of these are just in corner items, and again, a couple of them do have where they fill the entire space, and then a couple of just really interesting giant trees which you can put in there. But what I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to actually show you the kelp farm, which is one of the items that fill a space, are nice and decorative, but they also serve a purpose. So for putting the intersection ones in, the important thing is making sure you have your roads lined up, and the center pillar with the light, well, you can see it doesn't look quite right. Now it looks right. And when you have those lined up, the rest of it will be lined up. So in this case, you'll go ahead and you'll have your builder build it, but I'm going to cheat. And there we go. So this kelp form is really kind of fun. It's automatic. So the kelp is going to grow, and when it hits the observers, these will trigger and it will automatically chop it off, and it'll all go into the box here, or the chest here. If you need some kelp right now and you have 3 or 4 grown up here, you can always go and hit the automatic or the button, and it will chop off whatever's there currently and again pop it into the chest. So just have it going, and anytime you happen to wander by, you can pick up the kelp that's in the chests and move it into the storage house or wherever you need to have it. So that's a fun little bit that I've put in, and hopefully over time I'll have more things being put in that go into these spaces that are helpful and useful to make things run smoothly for you. So now we're going to talk about placing huts into your MegaHalls. This is one of my favorites. I mean, they're all my favorites. It's like choosing a favorite child. But this is the Tasty Hall, and it's tasty because it has the bakery and it has the tavern. So it's got tasty things in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how we are going to add huts into the area. So this is the tavern area. A big trick for making sure that things are placing correctly is when you find the sign that tells you where the hut block goes, because every hut will have a block sign telling you where the proper place is. What you want to do is you want to right click your build tool on the same block that the sign is on. As long as you click it on that block, the block or the hut block will be in the right spot. So in this case, we're going to right block. The tavern is under fundamentals, and we're working in a mega hall. So you're going to choose the mega hall category, grab the tavern. Now, it doesn't look quite right because it's in the right spot, but it might need to be rotated. So all you're going to do is click these rotate buttons until you find that you have it where it looks like it is fitting in there the way it should. And again, I always like to preview things at level 3 or 5 for a normal hut, and this looks like exactly what it should be. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to normally you would construct this or set the order for the builder to construct it. We do not have actually our colony started in this example, so it's not going to let me build it, but that's how you would do it. You would go ahead and start the build and go from there. So that's showing you how that one works. Again, I'm going to show you with the fisherman. The fisherman will be under agriculture. I believe this is under here. Yes, I did remember correctly. So the fisher hut, and again, previewing it at level 5. This isn't quite right. It's got things outside of the hall entirely. So all you're going to do is you're going to rotate until you find that it is where it should be. And in this particular case, that is exactly where it's supposed to be. You can work down to see the changes that happen at each particular level. And again, you would go ahead and click this. You would set it for the builder, and the builder would start the build. So following those tips of making sure you're always right clicking on that block and rotating until it is where it should be. Some of the halls will have guideposts as well to help make sure that things get into the right place because it's not as intuitive. Let me see if I can find one of the halls that does that. I believe up here. So this is the Farmer's Hall. That once you build it up, it has 5 farm fields, and then upstairs we have a couple of other huts. So we've got the plantation here. This one has guideposts on level 1. So the plantation, so again, we're clicking on the same block as the sign. The plantation will be under agriculture, horticulture. Again, we're in the mega hall, and you're going to pick the plantation. Always preview at level 5. Doesn't look right. This already I can tell that it's not quite right, but when we have it in the right orientation, things look like where they should be. To be absolutely sure, we're going to pop it back down to level 1. And when we move this, you can see that those posts moved out of place. When they are lined up correctly, you're in the right spot, and you can go ahead and click the check mark and have your builder go ahead and start that build. And so some of them will have guideposts, and if they do, there will be a sign telling you what guideposts to use. In some of them, there is enough guideposts that you might have different color posts, and it will tell you, yeah, see, you can see here, the apiary is actually an interesting one because the hive goes on the ceiling in the new forestry hall. This is the forestry hall. So I'm going to give you an example of this one, and this will be the last one that we're going to take a look at. So we're agriculture husbandry because we are herding bees basically in the mega hall and the apiary, previewing at level 5. So this is moving outside, obviously is not quite in the right place. I'm going to rotate. There we go. That now looks like what it should look like. And it says here that it aligns to the gates in the upper walkways. So if you were to run up here, you can see that there's gates. And the preview shows that the apiary lines up with those gates. So when you have that following that instruction, you'll be in the right place. And again, you'll click that check mark and let your builder start building. And in this particular one, once you got this going, these open areas here is where you would plant your trees to let your forester do his thing. And once the trees are growing, it will not interfere with the hive. The hive won't interfere with the trees. Hopefully, I haven't heard any problems. It seems to be working correctly. So I hope this helps you utilize your mega halls and get your things into those mega halls, and let you know about some of the decorations and things that are available to you. So this has been a much longer video, but I had a lot more information, and I will hopefully see you again with more vids that will make your colony life much easier. Thank you very much. Bye.